Hello, welcome to Drunk Doctor Who, and this is episode 12, The Romans. What are you... Nero. Okay. Well, and Romans in general, yeah. Anyway, you... Slave. Yeah.
I don't know if that's
Slave trade. Okay. We're both good and toasty.
What are we drinking today, Hatter?
Oh wait, what are you
Toasty?
drinking? Wait,
I've been
what happened to
drinking
your margaritas.
I've been drinking margaritas, and now I have a Red's apple ale.
Wait. You have more margaritas, right?
Do I? I thought I ran out.
I have no idea if you ran out. I haven't kept track of your margaritas. I've been drinking
Super smooth.
bourbon whiskey,
Bottle
bourbon,
here,
1835. This is some really good stuff. This is
so smooth.
Oh my
It goes
gosh.
straight down.
I like this whiskey.
No after gag.
Yeah, no after gag. I really like this whiskey. And we'll keep drinking it during the course of this evening. Oh my gosh.
You like
it's good, yes.
Looks nice.
Probably the best whiskey
Big
I've
old
had.
bottle. That's a big bottle.
It is a big, it's what they call a handle.
A handle.
1.75 liters is a handle. And,
It's very specific.
Well, yeah, look, 1.75 liters.
Uh-huh.
Okay, alcohol comes in two sizes
Two
usually.
sizes.
0.75 liters and 1.75 liters. Usually the 1.75 liters has a handle, so they call it a handle.
Oh, well, that doesn't even have a handle. That's,
No, this one doesn't, but they call it a handle for that reason.
that's not
This
living
is
up to
good,
its namesake.
Good and smooth. All right. Here's to you and us and Doctor Who.
I'll drink to that.
That is smooth
Very
whiskey.
smooth.
I'm surprised.
It goes right down.
It does. All right, it tastes like good tea. Anyway, all right. Tonight we're watching The Romans, which is the 12th serial of Doctor Who, and today is 10/15/2018. But the episodes happen from January 16th, 1965, to February 6th, 1965. 4 episodes. Yeah, I messed it up. I'm sorry. Our companions are Ian, Barbara, and Vicky, the new ingenue.
2-5.
Yeah. Antagonists were Nero and slave traders.
We also had
Yeah, that's it.
protagonists like Tavius and
Tavius was a good guy.
Delos.
Yeah.
Delos.
Delos was
Delos
a good guy.
was a good guy too.
Yeah, they were good. But anyway, this continues the historicals of Doctor Who.
Yeah, let's talk about historicals.
Well, okay. In the classic Doctor Who, especially during Hartnell's years, every other serial was historical. Starting with the very first one, which was Cavemen, and then the third one was the third one. Marco Polo was the fourth one.
Right.
Edge of Destruction was the exception.
that's
Aztecs was the sixth one. And then Reign of Terror was the eighth one. And then, let's see, and then they've got a couple of exceptions where they go through the rescue so they can get a new ingenue, Vicky. And now we have the Romans. And they keep up this almost every other serial being historical for a while. Eventually they drop it in favor of mostly sci-fi.
Which that makes me sad. I don't really like the historicals.
Right.
We learn things like
We do, but they weren't as popular.
apodry. We learned a new word today.
Yeah.
You also taught me about
Okay.
plinths and alchemy, chemistry with the Boisner. Apodrium.
Apogitarium.
Apogitarium.
Yeah, and I told you what a plinth was.
Was it plinth?
Yeah, it was a short column
Right.
on which you put a
And then
statue.
the
or vase
official
or whatever.
Poisoner was working with the Clinton.
Right. But she
Alchemy
was
thing.
sent to the gallows.
Yeah, but you taught me the word for the bowl and the smasher.
A mortal and pestle.
Mortal and pestle. Like in World of Warcraft,
and
can you do
pestle.
that?
Okay, mortar and pestle. Okay, that's the mortar and that's the pestle. You know, you
grind
can
down the
right, and you can still today use those for grinding aspirin into its component bits, so you can put on a cavity.
I really like They sell that powdered now, like powdered aspirin, and
Traditionally, Bear.
it works so much faster.
Traditionally, Bear came in a powder before they put it in pills.
Why do they do that?
I don't know, but early on in the 20th century, it was a powder, and you put it on your cavities. And eventually it went to a pill form, but you can still mortar and pestle it into a powder and put it on your cavities to help relieve.
They started doing it in little powder packets again, and I feel like it works way faster.
Okay, I don't know when they did that.
Because it takes like a little bit for the pill to dissolve and really...
Right, but you can put directly on the cavity or
That's
whatever.
smart, yeah.
Yeah, but the mortar and pestle is a way to break it down.
So we learned about mortar and pestle and the slave trade and official poisoner. It's very educational.
Yeah.
And I like the historicals. But eventually they just off those.
Well, eventually, but we're not there yet. This is still...
When did they get rid of those? Which doctor?
We
still have historicals with the second doctor?
The next serial is the Web Planet and the Crusade. The Crusade is still...
They get rid of them with this doctor?
I think so.
Oh.
The Chase, the Time Miller, yeah.
And then they're just all they don't do.
Well,
they eventually go back to the historicals.
Occasionally do historicals. The Massacre of St. Bartholomew's Eve is historical towards the fight in Britain between the Catholics and the Protestants.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, but during this doctor, Hartnell, they do eventually get rid of historicals. They go away from that towards straight science fiction, and that's okay. That it is.
Do you
what
like
it
that
is.
decision? Do you like the science
Well,
fiction?
it was 50 years ago. I mean, I'm cool with it because it turned out Doctor Who as it was. But this decision was before I was born.
Yeah.
And I'm 50 years old now. How old are you? 22?
23.
23.
Just turned 23 in August.
Yeah, and I'm 50. Just turned that in September, last month. But yeah, I'm 50. Okay, so I went into the pharmacist, right? And I said,
did they have a mortal and pestle?
Possibly, I don't know. But I said I'm doing keto, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I need a multivitamin. And they were like, okay, well, how old are you?
Silver.
And I said, yeah, exactly. I said, I'm 50. They said, well, Centrum Silver. I'm like,
this is starting.
I'm taking old people's vitamins. I'm taking old people's vitamins.
No.
Because I'm 50, so I'm taking old people's vitamins. So it's okay, it is what it is.
I should probably get some vitamins.
I don't know. No, you're young, you're good. But I'm 50, so I'm taking old people's vitamins now. Anyway, but
what's the difference between that? Like, it's just...
I have no earthly idea.
Why do they change it when you get older?
I guess it centers more on calcium, so your bones can be...
Yeah,
I really don't know. I seriously don't know. But I am taking old people's vitamins with the Centrum Silver. But anyway, this is the Romans, the 12th serial.
Speaking of changes, we also changed the director.
Yes.
How do you notice a difference?
Not particularly. Hussein is off the show, and we have a new director. Verity Lambert is still producing it, but she will eventually leave. She'll eventually leave during Hartnell's reign, Hartnell's tenure. And we'll see that later on, and we'll watch it in the, no, yeah, down there, yeah, during
This is one we watched.
Yeah, we watched that. We didn't watch it. Anyway,
we watched.
But during Adventures in Time and Space, we'll see her leave before Hartnell leaves. Okay, seriously, it's a biopic kind of thing.
Biopic.
Yeah, about the early Doctor Who. Yeah, she will leave before the first Doctor leaves. But it's okay.
You didn't notice a change between the directors? I felt like this serial was a lot more comedic than the ones in the past. The other ones were very, especially the historicals, they're very serious, like the French Revolution, lots of death. There's a few comedic.
There's several deaths in here too.
Yeah, but
it's a children's show.
They're comedic, like when Nero's drink is getting poisoned and he hands it off to a servant, and the servant just when it falls over, that's like a laughable moment, but...
Kind of. What about the guy who gets waylaid on the side of the road?
That was one of the darks.
Yeah, it's okay. Doctor Who has its darker moments, its comedic moments, but all throughout, you have to accept it for.
I just feel like this serial was a lot more like the movie that we just watched, The Invasion of the Daleks. It was very kind of slapsticky and.
Okay, you're talking about Doctor Who and the Daleks.
And the the movie is a very different.
Which is not canon. Which
not canon, but as far as comedic values go, it. Maybe that has a great deal to do with Caesar Nero, who's very immature and childlike. So that probably adds a lot to the.
That was he. That was the way he was. Damn, this is good whiskey. 1835. It's good whiskey.
Really smooth.
It's smooth. Seriously, it is smooth. I like it.
It just makes me laugh.
What? Stop missing my couch.
That's my pen holder.
Stop missing my couch. You have a pocket. Alright. What are you talking about?
We were talking about historicals and...
Historicals. Okay, anyway, this is a good one. Usually they go alternate between historicals and sci-fi, but we had to insert the rescue in there to get Vicky so we could have a replacement for Susan. And then we go to historical, the Romans.
Not the first time we've skipped a historical though, right? There's been exceptions where we've had two sci-fi.
Well, Planet of Giants, yes, you're right with Planet of Giants. But next will be the Web Planet, which is another sci-fi. And then we go to the Crusade, which is historical, so it's alternate.
I'm excited for the Crusade. You're getting me excited.
Well, remember, on the Crusade, half of it exists, half of it does not. So we'll have
reconstructions.
2 reconstructions, right?
But I like the
Web Planet is
historically. I'm a big fan of history.
I agree with
the reasons for wars is fascinating.
Agreed.
So that's why I like the historicals. You get a new outlook on
Alright.
a new way to look at historical events.
Here's season 2.
Creative liberties. Now that's a lot of red.
Look at season 3. Season
a lot of
3,
reconstructions.
yeah, a lot of reconstructions, a lot of not there. And it kind of sucks, but
so we're in season 2 right now?
Yes, season 2.
How many seasons of part do we have?
3.2. Okay. We have 3 seasons and a little bit of the 4th season is Hartnell. Then he regenerates into Troughton, and then we get almost 3 seasons of Troughton.
Almost 3. 2.8. We finished that season.
2.8. Yeah. But it's good. And Hartnell's awesome, and Troughton's awesome. He's my. He's my 3rd favorite Doctor.
He's my most favorite of the Doctors I've seen.
Hartnell's the only Doctor.
He's the only one I've seen. But
Troughton?
so far, he's my favorite. He was great in this serial. He was very cunning, very smart.
Yes, very devious.
Yes, he's great at diffusing situations and deducting. He's very, reasonable and scientific. So he pretends to be Maximus Prevalius, this lyre player. He's a great musician. He deducts that this dead person on the road with the lyre is actually that person, and the centurion looking for him.
Right.
He pretends to be that, and he assumes that the centurion was out to have him murdered, and then from there he has this disposition of playing this character, but also we had another fight scene with the Doctor, which was incredible. Why is it that he was so good at fighting in that scene? He's just throwing this assailant around, and he's throwing things at him, and he's disarming him, and he did like this cool flip. He just flipped him over his shoulder, and then he's throwing things at him. He just walks circles around this assassin.
He's playing with him.
Yeah, and that's very much his. Yeah, he was toying with him, and then Vicky walks in, and he stumbles out the window, and he's like, "Vicky, I was just having fun with him," and he's like, "I'm quite, I'm a great fighter in fisticuffs and all that." Why is that so different from the fight we had with the Doctor in the last serial, where he's very quickly overpowered. You throw swords against him. What's his face? Who was posing to be that alien guy?
Well, it all depends on context, Sometimes you can overpower people when it's simple and easy, and sometimes, they overpower you, depending on the context,
Or that because the Doctor had more rest, or just...
Yeah, in this serial, for the first time in a while, they get a good month's rest at the beginning of the serial, and that's indicated they've gotten rest and relaxation and vacation.
I thought it was kind of weird how they inserted that, because the end of the rescue, they ended on a literal cliffhanger where the TARDIS materialized on a cliff and then fell over. And it's like, oh no, what happens? And then you go into this serial, the Romans. It's they hardly mention it. They're just there. By the way, we've been here for a whole month. They just totally disregard what happened with the falling off the cliff.
They mention it, but
it's no big deal.
For the first time, they've got an actual vacation, and they're living in this villa just north of this village, which is several miles west of Rome. Mm-hmm. And they're enjoying themselves. They're relaxing, and that's all good.
I think this serial could have done well with 5 episodes, having it picking up where it left off with them falling off the cliff and then going to the villa and explaining.
You want more episodes?
Yeah, one more episode because they skip to where they're at the villa.
They go in even numbers usually, so it would have been 2 more episodes.
Oh, they didn't have enough content for 2 more episodes.
I agree. That's why it was 4, not 6.
But they skipped the whole part where the Doctor knew the guy that owned the villa who went out of town.
No.
Watching the villa.
I think just assumed. They just walked in and said, yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're here because we know this guy. Even though he was gone. I think they just assumed it all and just sort of took over.
Does that mean they're bad people? Because they stole clothing and then Ian walks out with souvenirs. He's just taking
maybe not. I don't know.
But you don't think the Doctor actually knew the guy that owned the villa?
Correct.
And why would they stay there if they didn't know that he was going?
I think he just walked his way into a situation. Okay, if you have enough confidence, if you have enough self-assurance, you can literally walk yourself into situations where you should not belong. That's true today as it was then. Seriously, it is.
I was on the internet. I was reading about situations exactly like that. Where on Reddit, it's this website where they have this subreddit called Unethical Advice, and they're talking about how you can steal food from production companies. There's this guy who used to work in this production company. He's like, hey, just get an earpiece, put on a North Face jacket. You can walk right in. No one will ask you questions. Just eat at the buffet, and you get free food, and you leave, and you just fit right in. You can just walk into this place because everyone else is wearing North Face jackets and
they assume you.
Yeah, they just assume that you belong there. And this other guy was in the comment section. He's like, yeah, I did that same thing. I was just trying to cut through this filming location. And then someone asked me if I was a part of background, and they handed him some props. And But there's this other story. Very smooth.
This is...
You just keep going.
It's good as smooth as...
But there's this other story with this guy who he works... he became a house squatter. He's squatting in this house because he just pretended that he belonged there, and he just walk in with confidence, and then no one asked him any questions.
Exactly. Self-confidence is half of life.
He's living in a pool house.
Half of life. Anyway, this is season 2 of Doctor Who, and it's 4 episodes. The next serial, The Web Planet, will have 6 episodes, and we'll obviously get more drunk. 6 episodes.
I'm not so drunk.
I'm reasonably drunk.
It's odd because...
No, I'm reasonably drunk. Wait, did you finish off all 6 of your margarita thingies?
I had 4 margaritas.
You got 2 more to go.
2 more to go.
Yeah, 2.
Well, I'm not.
You brought a 6-pack.
I thought it was a 4-pack.
No, you brought a 6-pack.
Okay.
You did. Okay,
It's
and
weird
I'm drinking
because
the whiskey, and the whiskey is 90 proof,
So-
and it's good.
so last week, our last cereal, I drank probably just like 4 or 5. I had 5 reds, and I felt real drunk. Now I've had 4 margaritas and 1 red. I feel fine. Why is it that?
You
and
need
they have
more. You need to finish your margaritas than
Well, the margaritas are even more. They have 0.8 more alcohol percent.
Okay,
So
okay.
Well, I guess they are smaller. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, and you're dealing in wine area of alcohol, but seriously, I've got the good stuff, the hard liquor. Anyway, the next cereal is the Web Planet. Go get another one. Go get another one. All right. Next year is Web Planet, 6 episodes. Serial 13 of Doctor Who. He's going to get another one. And I will drink more whiskey. This is the smoothest. You okay? Good. That is some smooth whiskey. 1805, I love it. Alright, Anyway, this went from January 16th to February 6th, 1965. And we will continue to do these serials until we catch up to the modern Doctor Who. We're still on the first Doctor, and the current series is on the 13th Doctor, Whittaker. And we're still on Hartnell, but we will get there eventually. And we will continue to catch up one serial at a time, including the spin-offs, Canine Company, Canine, Class, Torchwood, and the Sarah Jane Adventures. I think that's all of them. Anyway, alright, here you go.
What you been talking about?
Wait. Did you finish off all 6 of your margarita thingies?
No, I had 4.
You had 4. Isn't there 2 more?
Probably.
I mean,
You told me to get. I was holding a reds, and you told me to get another, so I got another reds.
yeah, I told.
I was just doing what you told me to. What you been talking about?
It's not being misinterpreted. I was talking about the show in general. It's okay. Wait, what are the things?
So that's episode where we're talking about the cliffhanger and how they've been there for a month and they've been on a vacation. They finally get to rest.
Right.
And we talked about the fight scene. I had that too.
Mm-hmm.
The circus. Let's talk about the circus. Another historical, educational moment. What is the circus? And how does that differ from the arena?
Okay, in the Colosseum in Rome, the circus is a place where they would pit gladiators against each other, and they would sometimes throw in a bunch of slaves to be devoured by lions or tigers, or be killed by the No. No, by the What?
What?
What are you talking about? Buzzsaw?
Aliens?
No, we're talking about aliens. No. The what's it called? Oh my gosh, I'm so drunk.
That's good.
We got 2.
One of us should be.
Two. We're both. I'm hoping you are. Please stop that with my couch. Alright, my lips.
Is that not a pen holder?
No. Okay. You get the 2 horse chariot. Okay, the chariots.
Like in Ben-Hur, they had the exact arenas.
And
they had the blades that came out the side and they crash into each other.
Oh, yeah.
And then sometimes they put the chariots with the bladed wheels inside of the gladiator.
That was all in the circus. And if you go to the Colosseum, you see the outside is beautiful. You see the inside, it's gutted by ancient popes to build the Vatican. The Vatican is beautiful.
Right.
But a lot of us live in the Colosseum.
And he knows because he's been there. You've been there.
I've been to the Colosseum. I've been to the Vatican. Yes.
So they gutted the the building materials, the rocks and stuff to build the Vatican.
The marble.
The marble, yeah. And then I heard it also had like a plank floor over the sand, and that's just all rotted away. It's just sand now.
Well, yeah, but they gutted the Colosseum, all the marble to build the Vatican, and you can see in the Colosseum the underneath, but it's only because they gutted all the floor to build the Vatican.
They have an Assassin's Creed game based in that time period in Rome, and it's Italian Ezio Auditore, and you get to explore the Colosseums.
I don't know Assassin's Creed.
It's a great historical video game. You learn
I don't know.
You learn all sorts of stuff
about
history. It's a very educational video game.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, a Scylla and Charybdis. Scylla and Charybdis.
Right. We wrote down somewhere.
Scylla, you wrote that down, right? Scylla and Charybdis?
Yes.
Okay, we're drunk. But anyway, okay.
Here it is, Scylla and Charybdis.
Okay.
What is that?
So there's a point in the serial where the slave ship, the galleon.
How did you? That's the very next note after this.
The galleon is going through troubled waters, and I mentioned Scylla and Charybdis. In ancient Greek mythology, Scylla and Charybdis were the whirlpool that would drag them into their deaths, and the rocks that held the
sirens that would
correct, that would load the ships to them. So you had the whirlpool of death, Scylla, and the rocks of Charybdis with the mermaids of the sirens, and Odysseus had this covering his eyes and covering his ears, had to sail the ship through the whirlpool and the rocks with the mermaids, and that is Scylla and Charybdis.
So is that a reference that he had made, or is that just something that you thought?
Well, I mean,
that's a Roman mythology.
Well, yes, it's all the mythology, but it goes back to Homer.
Homer's Odyssey, yeah.
Right, and the Iliad and the Odyssey.
Right.
It goes back to having to sail the ship through the whirlpool and the rocks and get it through. And of course, the ship couldn't. It hit the rocks. And that's why Ian was allowed to escape with Dylan. What was his name? Dylan?
Yeah, Delos.
Yes, Delos. And they escaped, and they barely made it to shipwrecked,
and then Delos saved Ian and dragged him ashore.
And then went to Rome.
Yeah. Great guy.
That was good. But that's why Scylla and Charybdis.
Yeah, there's a lot of Roman mythology adapted from Greek mythology, right? They took that and they adapted it. It's just, you have these people in these situations, they need something to pray to try to, they make all these sorts of different gods to try to, because the farmers, they have their god to pray for their crops, and the sailors, they have their god and pray for safe travels and stuff. I heard that there's one Roman emperor who declared literal war on Neptune, the god of the sea, or one of those people. So he had all of his soldiers march out to the beach, and they started stabbing the slaves. That's totally insane. An insane, tyrant of a... I don't remember which one, but he's like, I declare war upon Neptune or something. And he had his entire army march out to the beach, and they started stabbing the beach. That's something I read.
There'll have to be... Not Nero.
Nero's pretty crazy. That sounds like something
That was after Nero. That was.
I guess someone with that much power and like no checks and balances, they're a little spoiled. You think all of them might have become a little crazy.
Oh my gosh.
See, Nero.
I can't think of his name. Hold on.
Nero's a little crazy in the fact that he wanted to build his new Rome and name it after himself, but what's they call it? The Sidites. Someone wouldn't let him. They didn't approve his plan, so his way around that was, well, we'll just burn down all of Rome, and then they'll have to let me build my new.
That comes to play. But no.
So Nero's a little crazy. They're all kind of crazy. They did pretty extreme things, like going to war with them. with the mythical god of those.
No, there's yeah, you're right. Oh my gosh.
You're thinking very hard, but
No, I can't think of his name.
I
Seriously,
can't
why
think of him
can't I
either.
think of
I
his
don't
name?
remember which one, but it's just a funny story
No, there's a particular one.
because it's
No. He censored the beach. They didn't cross over into Britannia, but they sat there and they met on the beach.
They just stabbed.
And there was a movie made about him,
There's a lot.
which starred Peter O'Toole as well as others.
We're talking about other movies in that time period. We came up with Ben-Hur, who participated in the circus, the chariot rides, and then we're also talking about the movie about Barnabas and how that played into Nero burning down Rome. And Barnabas thought that the burning of Rome was the second coming of Jesus coming back and the end of the world. So he's like, the world's on fire, and then he started helping with the burning, but really it wasn't. It's just Nero burning down Rome because he wanted to build his new Rome. That was a different movie.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And then we also talked about Ben-Hur.
That part.
What? No, that's not part of.
Right, I don't remember that part.
It's just a movie, a different movie.
Okay. No. Who else did you
Don't think too hard on it. It'll come to you.
No, I'm
circle back
thinking,
around.
thinking. Right, circle
Don't
back
get too
around.
hard.
I'm thinking. Who was it?
Well, that festers in your subconscious. Let's move on to the.
Really? Okay.
Let's see.
Festers in my subconscious.
Well,
Okay.
it'll come to you. You just leave
It
it
will, yeah.
in the back room, and then we'll go walk into the front. It's like when you walk into a room and you forgot why you walked into that room, so you leave, and then it'll come back to you. And you'll.
I walked in that room because I'm looking for the restroom, Right.
You ever have that feeling like you walk into the kitchen, you're like, why did I come into the kitchen?
Well,
And then
yeah.
you hang out, and then you leave back to the living room. Once you hit the living room, you're like, oh yeah, that's why I was going to the kitchen. So let's walk out of the kitchen where we are right now, and then it'll come back to you. So let's talk about episode 3. We talked about the circus and Scylla and Charybdis.
Okay, explain Scylla and Charybdis.
No, you already did that.
No.
You already did.
Yeah,
Explain.
explain Scylla and Charybdis.
And then we talked about the new director. And then we talked about historicals, very educational. We learned all our new words. We talked about the Doctor and his ability to diffuse situations. How he. Oh, let's talk about how he put into play the Emperor in his new clothes, or he's playing the liar.
Yeah, he's playing the liar. He said, "Oh, only those who can understand the sublimity of what I'm doing can hear the music." And he played the liar, but he didn't play the liar. So he played on those fears, and those who would understand him, they pretended to understand it and hear it, so they would be those who understood and heard. But
because no one wanted to admit that they couldn't hear it. It kind of plays on
like the Emperor's
the mob mentality. If you just want to go with the group, peer pressure, it's like you don't want to be the one person that stands out, right? It's just you play along with everyone else, and then everyone plays along. This is ingenious. I really like the character development of the Doctor, the serial. Speaking of, we didn't mention how Ian and Barbara have an entirely separate journey from the Doctor and Susan, right? No, Vicky.
Vicky.
So we have the Doctor and Vicky. They go to Rome, and then Ian and Barbara, they get captured by the slave trades, and these two very different adventures. We have two companions, and they never actually ever meet while they're in Rome.
They do meet eventually.
Well, once they get back to the villa, but they never meet in Rome, and they come comically close. Like Barbara's just like a second behind meeting the Doctor several times. Like it's kind of like the Scooby-Doo where they're walking in different rooms and they keep passing each other in the hallway. And then the Doctor and Vicky come back to the villa, and Barbara and Ian beat them there, and he's like, he doesn't even believe that they even went anywhere. He just thought they were standing there the whole time, which is funny.
Right. And yes.
And then Ian and Barbara comment on it's almost not fair, and Barbara says it's not fair. He doesn't even believe we had an adventure of our own. And Ian's like, well, it's funny. It's funny.
Right.
Let's talk about the protagonist. We had Tavius. He's a great guy. He works in the palace with Nero and the Empress, and his job is to buy the slaves for the Emperor and the Empress, and he keeps helping out Barbara and eventually Ian too, and he's helping these guys out, and we're kind of confused on what his motivation is. And he turns out just, it's a good guy, but at the very end it reveals his motivation. He's holding up this crucifix. He's a Christian guy.
Right. His motivation is humanity.
Yeah,
he wants to help people who help people.
And this is in the same time
it's Christianity.
Jesus was crucified maybe, 20, 30 years before Nero came into power. This is that same time frame.
70.
Same generation. It was 70 years. Yeah.
40, 50, 70, yeah.
Because we also had Barnabas,
history
who was
is
freed instead of Jesus. This is that same thing.
Yeah, my history is big on this point. Yeah, I would need to go look into it.
So we have this Christian guy, and that's his motivation for helping Barbara and Ian, is because he's a Christian. He's going for the afterlife. He's trying to be a good person.
As are we all.
Yes. And you had a nice quote you said. A man.
What?
Being a good. I don't remember what you said.
Okay, so it's a man being a good man. And it's okay to be a good man. It's good to be a good man.
It's good to be a good person.
Yes. Good man. It's okay.
So in the very end,
we're good men.
Yeah, it's all you can try to be.
It's all I can be when you're a man.
Rise to the occasion.
Agreed.
Good.
That is good whiskey. Seriously, that is a really good whiskey. I like this whiskey.
Alright, at the very end of episode 4, we had Barbara and Ian talking to Susan. And Susan's going where are we going next? The doctor's been at the controls for hours. And Barbara and Susan are like, well, we don't know. We don't even think the doctor knows.
Well, that was the first episode. That was the 4th episode.
This is the 4th episode.
What was the 5th?
Yeah, when they're leaving Rome. And Susan's like, where are we going next after Rome? And Barbara and Ian's like, well, we don't know. Because the Barbara doesn't, because we don't even think the doctor knows where we're going. Yeah. Why does it seem like the doctor can't operate the TARDIS? He can never accurately predict where they're going next.
The TARDIS is impaired. It's not what he wants it to be. It is.
The TARDIS is impaired. Does the TARDIS have learning disabilities?
No. It's impaired in such that it can't quite do what he wants to do. And next is the Web Planet. They go to the Web Planet.
The Web Planet. That's our sci-fi episode.
6 episodes.
6 episodes are next year.
Chinese 6.
Chinese 6?
This is Chinese 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 for Chinese. And we go.
It's like sign language.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6.
6, 7, 8, 9,
6.
10.
Go to this.
That's sign language.
No. It's the beginning.
I like how we still have the Moffat bucket.
Yeah, we still have the Moffat bucket, and we need the Moffat bucket.
Which one's Moffat?
What are you talking about? Which one's Moffat? Moffat's not a doctor. Moffat's the
director.
The showrunner.
The showrunner. We don't like Moffat.
Hanyak. We don't
He's
like
bad.
Hanyak.
Speaking of Hanyaks, we have Nero.
Nero's
a Hanyak.
Nero, yes, he's on the bad. Anyway, next episode we'll go to the Web Planet. 6
planet of
episodes.
webs? How does that work?
No, the Web Planet.
I just watched, the other night I was watching Coraline. You ever see that movie?
Yes.
It's a great stop motion claymation.
I saw it in the theater.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Yeah. That's a movie that will just be on TV, and no matter where I am or when I'm at or where it's at in the movie, I'll just sit down and watch it because it's always enjoyable. I like stop motion. I watched Kubo and 2 Strings, another stop motion movie. I don't really like the plot in that, but it's just the animation I like. But Coraline, it's I like the plot and the characters and the animation.
Have you ever seen
It's kind of like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Mm-hmm. And
What's the director?
okay, for Nightmare Before Christmas,
Yeah,
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
Tim
Yeah.
Burton.
Coraline seems very much like a Tim Burton movie, but it's actually not. It's a different director, but he's very he takes after Tim Burton a lot, and it's great.
Have you ever seen I can't think of it at the moment. I'm too drunk. Oh my god.
Are you trying to think of a director?
I'm trying to think of a movie. Yeah.
Did you ever think of that Caesar emperor about who declared war on Neptune?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell you're talking
Okay,
about.
never mind.
Yes.
You're very fixated
Do
on it.
not know what the heck you're talking about.
You're yeah.
Yeah. I'm drunk, you're drunk, it's all
Oh,
good.
pretty good.
Yes, exactly.
To be honest, I'm pretty good.
Exactly. And that is Drunk Doctor Who, yes.
We finished, yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, as always. Drive
See you
responsibly.
next week.
Is our
Don't
sponsor?
drive, that's the key. Take Uber, don't drive
Uber,
drunk.
Designated drivers,
Mm-hmm.
as always. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be with you next. Oh, we're gonna take a hiatus. Next week we're having our movie night.
No,
Or the week after.
week after. Next week we
So
have
next
the
week we'll have the Web Planet.
Web
and then the
Planet,
week after that we're gonna
6
have
episodes.
a short hiatus.
Well, I show him and his girlfriend the Heritage.
Oh,
No, Heritage.
Heritage, yeah.
Which is,
Um,
like this is October.
the weekend of
Dark
Halloween, right near the
Halloween.
30th.
Yeah, and I show them Heritage.
That's our movie
It's
night.
dark and
So,
everything.
so after next week, we'll have our podcast. The week after that, we're gonna have our movie night. So we'll skip a week, and then we'll be back with you next month on November.
Right, but next week, like normal, next week.
Next week, we'll go over the Web of Planets. Yeah, so we'll be here. As always, thank you for joining us. Drunk Doctor Who.
Drunk
Doctor Who.
Seriously.
Our sponsors are driving responsibly.
What spot? We don't have a spot.
We'll get them. Hey, let's talk about the audio.